Hey, everybody, welcome. You guys, let me know if you can hear me. I will be able to see if you comment in the chat, but if you did not open up your allowances for StreamYard, I won't be able to see who said what. So bear with me, please. But welcome, welcome, welcome. We are super excited to have you guys on the line this evening. I have a lineup of phenomenal speakers for you tonight, and we are talking about Forex, the foreign exchange market, and what does it mean to invest. So please make sure that you have your questions absolutely ready for us to go, because we want to be able to answer anything that comes up for you. So I'm going to actually welcome on the line for us in just a moment. This gentleman, I don't know if we'll hear from his other half tonight, but this gentleman is absolutely phenomenal. He's a father of 5, so give it up for that. He's right here in Columbus, Ohio. He's an extremely successful entrepreneur. He actually runs a cleaning franchise here, cleaning up the whole city of Columbus. And yes, he is an essential worker, but we are super excited to have him on the line this evening to be able to talk about the foreign exchange market, and not just from a standpoint of what he thinks is possible, right? But how he's actually been able to help himself and his family. So I want to welcome to the line, Mr. Terry Ezekiel Moore. Hey, okay, we hear you. We hear you.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Everyone's doing fine. We're starting to get some comments, so I will be sure to put those up as they arrive. All right, and I did go ahead and add your screen, so you can take it away. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in this evening for this phenomenal Forex education that the Columbus Trade Lounge is actually putting on. And this is really in an effort to show as many people as we possibly can, that there is an alternative way to be able to earn an income than what we've been taught. Because we have to think, ladies and gentlemen, what if what we have been taught about money, everything that we've been taught, what if it's not necessarily true? So this is a little bit of background about myself. Like Miss Willis mentioned, first of all, I really want to throw it back to, her and her husband, Mr. Tiandre Willis. They have done some phenomenal things just here in the Columbus market, but not only here, literally across the country. We have people that they have literally helped to change their financial situation, right? Literally going from 0 to 100 because of their guidance and because of the principles of success that they actually teach. And they're really getting real results. So I really appreciate being able to partner with those two individuals, being able to draw from their wealth of knowledge and, just being able to connect with them and allow them to pour into me, into my family, into my household, being teachable and coachable. And I've been able to get the results that I've gotten. So, kudos, big shout out to them, So before we actually show you, we have a video that we're going to show you. Many of you on the line may not know what Forex is. I didn't either about 2 years ago. I was actually working 60, 70 plus hours a week, working as a commercial cleaner, right? I own a commercial cleaning franchise. So I work in the business myself, but I also contract work out. So with that being said, I thought I was a business owner. I had a conversation with my mentor and he asked me a question. He said, Terry, can you walk away from your business 6, 12 months? And when you come back, will you still have a business? The answer at that time was no. So what I realized at the time was that I actually owned a job, right? So with that being said, I had to go to work when I was sick, right? I had to go to work when I was tired because I'm self-employed. If nobody shows up, I have to show up. And because I contract work out, if somebody else is sick or if somebody else is tired, right, I had to show up when they were sick and tired. So really, I was doubly sick and doubly tired. Thank God I was introduced to this opportunity by, like I said, Mr. Willis, and, the rest is history. I've been able to literally, buy back a lot of my time, spend a lot of time with my family. And I really don't want to ramble on too much, but we really want to show you the power of this education, because having the ability to learn to multiply your money is a skill set that is definitely necessary. And it is definitely something that is to be coveted. So what we're going to do first off is just we're going to start a video, because many of you on the line right now, you may have no idea what Forex is, right? So we're going to start a video. The topic or the title of this video is what is Forex? And this is what you actually get when you get access to our network, right? You get access to ongoing education that's going to teach you exactly what it is that we're talking about here today. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video really quickly. And as instructed, if you have any questions, make sure that you put those in the comments. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Academy. In this video, we're going to discuss what is Forex. Forex, or FX, is short for foreign exchange. It is the place where you can exchange currencies from all around the world. Many countries are backed by their own banks, thus creating their own economy and currency. When traveling to these other countries, you can participate in the foreign exchange market manually by exchanging your local currency for theirs. As the decades passed and the discovery of the internet came along, Forex found its way online, where traders from all around the world began to trade currencies digitally to turn over profits from the comfort of their home. The foreign exchange market is the largest and most liquid market in the entire world, trading over $5 trillion a day, far trumping the New York Stock Exchange at $22 billion a day, the Tokyo Stock Exchange at $18 billion a day, and the London Stock Exchange at $7 billion a day combined. To put quite simply, the FX market is where all the money in the world is being exchanged in real time through currencies. And this market attracts many investor mindset individuals who see the opportunity to create a career through trading within the exchange. The FX market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, meaning you get the ability to trade and make money 24/5 with no limits. The market opens Sunday, 6 a.m. Sydney time, and ends Friday, 5 p.m. New York time. Because the market is easily influenced by geopolitical factors, it causes a lot of volatility in the market, creating plenty of trading opportunities we can capitalize on. Through the continued education of the Academy, you're going to learn all about the Forex market and how to trade in it. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the information? What do you like best about what it is that you just saw, right? What I like best when I actually first looked at that was that, you know, I realized that I did not have to, because when I thought about foreign exchange, when I heard of Forex, right, I thought it meant for your X, right? And who wants to do that? But really, Forex is short for foreign exchange, right? So based on the video, it's a global decentralized over-the-counter market for the exchange in the currencies. So if you've ever been out of the country, you may have already participated. It's basically exchanging one currency for another so you can do business in that country's economy. Now, let's just say you go to Japan. If you go to Japan and you spend 2 weeks in Japan, you would exchange your US dollar for Japanese yen because you can't spend the US dollar in Japan. Let's just say you get over there. The host that you have is extremely gracious. You don't have to spend no money while you over there. So now 2 weeks later, you come back to the United States. The $500 that you exchanged for the Japanese yen, when you go to the United States, now you get back 700. And the reason that is because the exchange rate changes on a daily, minutely, hourly, secondly basis. And the supply and demand for that currency has changed, and you're now able to make money. So instead of having to travel to all the different countries around the world to actually be able to do that, As long as you have a cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, and an internet connection, you can make money from anywhere in the world.
Thank you so much. I did want to ask you a couple questions while you're on here, so hopefully you have a little bit of time.
Okay. Oh.
All right, cool. So first of all, can you tell us just a little bit, because I know a lot of people hop on the line because they want to pull information from us. If you could just give people like your experience as far as like what you were doing when you found out about Forex. And I know you explained just a tiny bit, but what attracted you to it? Because you were already wildly successful. So what was it that really attracted you to this and said, you know, I got to give this a shot? And then I have a couple more questions. And I'm also checking questions from the chat. So for those of you watching, feel free to add your questions there as well.
Okay, awesome, man. That's a great question. Like, what would make a person want to pursue more success, right? So I think it's one of those things where you could never have enough, one, but for two, my thing is stability. I was looking for more stability, right? Because in the type of business that I work in, just like with, you know, with this COVID-19, different things of that nature, I provide a service to a company or to a customer. And let's just say, like right now, during this pandemic, where you have a lot of customers that are shut down, people aren't even accessing their building, meaning that guess what? If they're not there to occupy the building, I can't make any money. So what I wanted to do was really be able to put myself in a position to where I did not have to solely rely upon, you know, the business for my only income, because it's just like having a job, really. You know, if you were working a 9-to-5, or if you're just an entrepreneur, just standing on one leg makes it really difficult to actually walk down the street. So I believe personally that if I have more than one financial leg to stand on, it'll make it a lot easier for me to go through my journey and achieve some of the things that I want.
You know, that's amazing. I think somebody needs to write in the comments. He said, you can't have too much success. And to me, that's amazing. And then two, you know, if you just standing on one leg, it would be hard to walk down the street. And a lot of us are on a journey, and there's places that we want to go, and we're wondering why we haven't been able to get there yet. And sometimes the vehicle doesn't look quite like we thought it would look. So could you tell us a little bit about, don't be touching me. Can you tell us a little bit about how you thought investing in Forex was going to be versus how it really was, and anything that, like, you know, that was a shock to what your original expectation was? Because I think all of us in the group kind of hesitated a little bit before we got started, but just in the mindset of like, once you were in, what did you find out like was almost silly that you were waiting on?
Man, that's a real good question. I think a lot of people would, I think that's a good question, because a lot of the things that you have, the misconceptions, really are just self-imposed limitations. They're really just, you know, man-made circumstances that you like literally create and you buy into. So when I first got started, I thought Forex was going to be super stupid hard. Like that's what I thought, because when you look at it, and then of course when you find out something new, the first thing you do is go to YouTube, right? And you go to YouTube, you look at everybody else's charts, that it's looking like spaghetti.
Yeah.
On their charts, and they like, yeah, we can do this, we can do that. And look at this move, and I'm like, what is this?
It's looking like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, can't process nothing, right?
What?
I was like, oh man. But when I actually got into the academy and just seeing how easy it was, like how systematic, like they broke down, like the first video, what's Forex? That was real simple, 2 minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty simple. What the next video gonna be like? So watch the next video. Was, you know, what that video was. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is really simple. And it gave you just enough information to be able to process it and make it make sense and build up on the next video that you were going to be watching. So what I would say is the misconception. I thought that it was going to be super hard, but I think it really turned out to be extremely easy. And I think another thing that people wait on, some people might not agree with it, but I say I want to go live as soon as possible, man. I need to feel them losses and those wins. I need to see what it feel like. I need to experience the wins, and I need to experience the losses early, so I'm not shocked by the process. But make sure you definitely do open up a demo account. Like, open up a demo account immediately, even if you don't plan on like trading with your real money first. Right out the gate. Open up a demo account so you can get at least used to putting a trade in the account. If you can get at least used to putting a trade in, I think that'll solve a lot, like 95% of your problems. It's just entering into trade and just letting it do whatever it does so that you can see how the market moves and learn how to get in and out of a trade, basically.
Right. So let us know, because you're our crypto king here in Columbus. Oh. So let us know what are your thoughts on Bitcoin. Obviously, it reached over 10K today. It was outrageous. It's up over, I think, 1/3% just today, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you talk about, savings accounts get 0.002%. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Like, is this a wave or is this a bubble?
Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's I gotta take this profit on this Bitcoin because it's been moved a little bit different.
He either getting in or getting out.
I had to get that trade out of there, man. Because you asked me a question, I looked at the chart like, oh shoot, okay. I'm sorry. What was the question again? My bad. I apologize.
No, you're fine. Is cryptocurrency just in general? I said Bitcoin, which was God, because it got you out the trade.
I'm in profit.
Is it a bubble, or is it well, yeah, I mean, can't go broke pulling profits. Is it a bubble, meaning it's going to burst here down the line, or is it a wave? Like, we could just ride this thing out. What you think?
Oh man, just in my personal opinion and experience with Bitcoin is a wave, ladies and gentlemen. Just due to the research that I've been doing, my wife has been doing, what we're finding out is the reason why digital currency, not necessarily Bitcoin, but digital currency as a whole, right? The reason why that market is so wide open is because the value of the dollar, or the value of the currencies, let me just start over. The reason why the cryptocurrencies are so valuable is because the value of the actual physical currency is going down. So what they've seen historically in the past is that people will actually spend the money of lesser value, which is like your dollar, your yen, you know what I'm saying, the country's value or the country's dollars that they're putting in, but then they'll hoard the money that's going to be, or what's going to be of greater value later down the line. For instance, like, a lot of people put their money in gold because gold is a physical, real asset that you can have and hold on to that increases in value. So it's the same difference. People are going to actually now, or what's happening is people are now putting their money into these coins. Specifically, what we're talking about right now is Bitcoin. It was, like you said, it was $8,000, like two or 3 days ago. And then today it topped out over, 10,000. So if you purchased a whole Bitcoin yesterday or couple days ago, 8,000, in 2 days, you just made a $2,000 profit. And that's just from you purchasing a Bitcoin. So this thing is definitely is going to be a wave. Everything is moving to the internet, right? This meeting that we're having right now is right on the internet. So, people are moving to that digital space, and to be able to exchange money and do business right over your computer is the new wave of the future. So if you don't think that this is a wave, then you're sadly mistaken. And I hope that, you know, you just get what we're talking about tonight and you just invest. Sometimes you got to borrow somebody else's belief until your belief kick in. Just make sure you get on the train and don't miss it.
That's good. Y'all need to drop that in the comments. Can y'all let me know if y'all are watching from our Facebook group? I tried to go and find it. I couldn't see it there. I know we have a couple people through our YouTube link. So let me know where y'all logging in. Are y'all on YouTube or Facebook? That'll give us a good idea of where to put this in the future. I can see your screen. Terry, I mean, they can't. I can see it because it's in the back. But I'm just cracking up because I can see how you got it marked up. All right. So I think one of the things that to me made a lot of sense is that people, you know, they get on the lives and they want to learn how to invest. And to me, that's a huge first step, because there's a lot of people that, because they don't know how to do something or where to start or where to find people that are doing it, then they don't do anything. And I think some people get away with the excuse. They feel like, oh, because I didn't do anything, that means I didn't make a decision yet. And I was actually talking to my daughter the other night about her schoolwork, and she was saying like, oh, well, I'm having trouble finding it, so I just didn't do it. And I said, okay, well, so did just not doing it felt easy? And she's like, yeah. And I said, but that was still a decision to not do it. So you decided not to do it. And then now you don't have the results you want of having all your work done by Friday so you can have a lit weekend. Right. So exactly. Sometimes as adults, we almost have to talk to ourselves the same way, because we make this excuse because I don't know. Not taking action is me not making a decision, when in fact that is a decision in itself. You're deciding not to take action. So what would you say to somebody who is on the fence? They don't know how much to invest. Of course, we're going to go through a lot of this today, but when they have this information, why is it important to also take home education that they can learn and grow? And we're going to talk about some of the other stuff, but why is that ongoing education so important?
Oh man, ongoing education, ladies and gentlemen. How did you learn? You learn everything by repetition, right? It's been said that repetition is the mother or the father of learning. I think with this platform, it makes it so easy, because most people are how you learn. You are more or less visual and hands-on. So if you're the type of person that I am, so let's just say we was reading this information, right? I'm the type of person that would read it once just to read it, right? Because you got to read it. But then the second time you got to read it so that you can understand it. Then you got to read it again a third time to actually apply the information. So with that, it takes a longer time for you to be able to learn and process information. What I like best about the Academy is that it gives you a systematic way to digest and process the information so that you can learn and build as you go through the Academy, and literally take what you're learning right off the screen, pause it, apply it, and go back to the screen, watch it again, and make sure that you did what they did on the screen. Just simply copy and paste it, man. I think the best thing about this is that you can really be a good copycat. If you are a good copycat, you can be successful.
No, that's dope. I can hear Ezekiel testifying in the back. He's so cute. Okay, so I did want to ask you, so did we just play the history of Forex, or did we play what is Forex?
We play what is Forex.
All right, so let's, if you could bring up what's the history of Forex, let's let them look at that, because we want people to know, like, Forex isn't on trial. Like, people are getting rich off of this every day. And in fact, if you have a savings account, drop some ones in the chat. If you have a savings account right now, some type of savings account. And the thing that's important to know is that your savings account is the bank's investment account. So every night the bank is putting that money into the foreign exchange market either way. So your money is already there. The problem is it's not there working for you. And what we want to do is help put you in position to be your own bank, right? So put some ones in the chat if that sounds cool. Terry, if you could play the history of Forex so we can see it's been around, right?
Yep.
It's an old bird. I'm gonna pull it up here. I guess I should ask if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you're ready. Ready to go? Let's go.
Welcome back to the I Academy. In this video, we're going to discuss the history of Forex. Many people are curious as to how the foreign exchange market exists. To better understand, we're going to have to peer back through time to the first ever trade system called the bartering system. The bartering system existed in a time where there was no money system, and people traded goods and services such as livestock, skills, talents, soul, and even people for the goods and services they needed from others. Eventually, the bartering system was abandoned for the commodity system, where people began to trade units of commodity such as shells, rice, barley, stones, and even bits of gold as they were deemed more valuable as civilization progressed. Then came along the first money system that came in the form of coins called the coinage. These coins were made out of electrum, which were a mixture of gold and silver and pre-weighed. This allowed people to trade what they want for what they need. This system had large impacts all around the world, and many different countries began to quickly adopt the coinage system, which gave way for people to participate in foreign trades. The Chinese then came along with the invention of paper money, which were IOU notes from the private institutions, aka banks, in exchange for holding their gold and silver. This gave way to the gold standard, where all currencies were to be backed by gold. However, due to mass printing of paper notes not being backed by actual gold, countries decided to come together to create the first monetary trading system that would be advantageous to all countries involved by keeping exchange rates fixed in foreign trades. Due to the rough nature of fixed currencies and unfair trades, 44 countries decided to come together after World War II devastated several European countries and created the Bretton Woods systems in 1944 that quickly ended in 1973. All the countries agreed to peg their currency to the US dollar, which led way to the dollar becoming the new global reserve currency. Countries began to float their currencies in 1994, and we saw the first online currency trading system introduced in Forex history. As modern civilization advanced, so did its mass adoption. The rest, as they say, is history. We hope you found this video insightful and informational. And now that you know how the foreign exchange market was created, let's focus on how to make money in it. We'll see you in the next video.
Okay, so real quick, did you want to give the tour, or do we want Larry on deck to give the tour? So we want to show them, because I know you brought up, you know, the first thing you do is look on YouTube, and we want to definitely make it very clear that it's one thing to be able to look and grab bits and pieces here off of YouTube. It's a whole nother thing to have a whole library of people who are proven, people who have been vetted, for lack of a better word, who have 6, 7, 8, 9-figure trading accounts, and they're teaching you their secrets that they're actively using right now. This isn't some old 20 years ago I was a master trader. People actually getting it in right now, and I know the value of that, because I've had some expired mentors, as we like to call them.
Oh, wow.
So I want to be sure that people understand that this is a little bit different. So are you willing to give us a tour of what you've been using to really master this skill? Before you do that, wait a minute, pause. What's been your best day in the market? Don't mention your wife.
My best day in the market is $4,786.19.
All right, I'm gonna pull your wife on here too. Tell her go find a hat. So, all right.
I got it.
All right, so over $4,000 in a day, and the thing is to remember is that most people actually don't even make that in a month, and you already had a successful business outside of this. So I'm super excited about that. Y'all can drop some fire in the chat. For those of you who haven't granted permissions, I do have a separate stream up, so I can see your comments now. So feel free to comment and so anyway, so you having had your 4-figure day, let us know, like, what's different about this thing versus just shopping around and grabbing and pulling what I can for free.
Oh yeah, man. Good question. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just like college, man. You know, you can go to college or everything that you can learn in college, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to the library and learn it, right? They got books for it because they're not doing anything but teaching you out of books. So anything that you can learn in college, you can actually learn it at the library. Same difference here. You know, a lot of the stuff that you learn here, you know, you may be able to learn it on YouTube. What this actually does, though, is it gives you a system, it gives you a structured, systematic way to digest the information. Because I heard about Forex before, right? And somebody told me about it. I seen somebody post, you know, some profits on Facebook with the hashtag laptop lifestyle. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I want one of those, a laptop lifestyle, right? So I went to, I went to YouTube and started trying to learn. And what I found out is just it was a lot of different information, and I hadn't even learned the basics yet. So, of course, in my demo account that I was using, I was losing trades like crazy. And I'm glad that it was just a demo account because I would have been really mad, at the amount of money that I was losing. But when I got access to the education and I began to apply the education that I learned, I began to become a more consistent and profitable trader. But so like college gives you a structured, systematic way to digest the information. That's what I Am Mastery Academy does for you as well, is it gives you a systematic, structured way to digest this information so that you can learn effectively, and not only learn, but be able to immediately apply what it is that you learn so that you can test for results. Ladies and gentlemen, that's unheard of. You go to college, pay $50, $150, $100,000 a year only to graduate and not be able to test what you learn, right? You haven't even gotten a job in the career field of your choice. And we got people like me, average everyday people, who are learning this skill set and making money immediately. So, but that's what I love about this academy. So you got here, what you're looking at on the screen is I'm gonna go ahead and close this up though. So what y'all looking at on the screen right now, right? So we have our home page, all the lessons or here that you have access to. So you got the academy, which is Forex. We got it in Spanish, German, French, Portuguese, all the major languages, right? We have our Pip Talk. This is how you stay connected. It's sort of like Facebook. This is how you stay connected and informed with the different educators who teach certain strategies, right? Then we actually have a strategies page, which I'm gonna actually go to, where you literally get to choose the strategy of your choice. So you have the harmonic scanner. Let's just talk about this harmonic scanner real quick. So a lot of people on the line right now, you have no idea what Forex is, but you're very, very interested. Most people have the question, am I going to make money? Can I make my money back? How fast am I going to get my return on my investment? To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we do not know, right? But what we do know is that you have a great chance of earning it back with software that's 85% accurate as far as calling out trades in the market. So let's just look at one right here. So this is the harmonic scanner. This is like your personal assistant, ladies and gentlemen. It's a personal assistant. What it does is it actually scans the market for certain patterns. Once that pattern is spotted, as you can see here, the harmonic scanner is going to highlight that pattern. And then it's going to give you specific instructions to enter and exit the trade. So you see, if you go to the right, it says this is your entry. This is your take profit. 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. What this scanner is saying, we want you to enter into this trade right here. And you're going to expect for a profit literally today from your cell phone. So hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. But you literally have the ability to copy and paste. So let's get back to the center. All right, so in our academies here, I just want to show you again what we have access to. So this is your general education, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get what is Forex, right? What's traded in Forex. And not only do you get the video to watch, but you also get an assessment to make sure that you retain the information. A short little quiz to make sure that you retain the information. So who are the market participants, right? When to trade Forex. Most people don't know when to trade. Most of us are working from 9 to 5. So when we get off, right, at 5 o'clock, we want to try to sit down and trade in the markets. A lot of us aren't familiar with the word dead gap or the no trade zone. From 5 to 1 a.m. is the no trade zone. Why? Because they know that most people are off looking at the markets. So the market is literally going sideways. We're going to teach you when to trade, when the market is most volatile. We're going to show you the difference between a buy and a sell and how you can make profits off of both of them, off buying and off of selling. What is a pip? What's a lot size? You know, a lot of different things, ladies and gentlemen, that you have access to. Like, check this out. How to enter a trade on an Android. How to enter a trade on an iPhone. So if you can watch the video that shows you how to enter a trade on the iPhone, access the academies and go to the harmonic scanner and just simply plug in the coordinates, you can make money right now. So we got a more advanced education, you know, chart setups, what is a trend, support and resistance, drawing support, pullbacks, all of these different things, ladies and gentlemen, are here literally to help you become a more consistent and profitable trader. Now, I'm about to hit on something that's going to be one of the most important keys to your success today, right? And that is having live mentorship. I'm excited about this Go Live platform. See, the Go Live platform is a platform where you actually have access to live education, live mentorship. People who are going to show you step by step how to take what you learned in the academy, all the things that I went through in the academy. They're going to teach you how to take those things. Let me come back on camera. Okay, they're going to teach you how to take those things take those things that you learn and make them come together to create, practical plans to actually get you results. So you're going to learn how to put support and resistance together with a trend line, understand what your trend is so that you can begin to place your trades. So a lot of people look at this and they like, man, this is a lot of stuff. How long is it going to take for me to actually learn this stuff? And you know what? The truth is we don't know, because we don't know what your time schedule is, but it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can log on to this education and watch and learn. So you can learn fast or you can learn slow, but this is what we literally recommend to most people. An hour a day, 5 days a week in the academy. Now, you're not going to be a master trader, but you will be proficient enough to actually start calling out some of your own trades. So as you go through this academy, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to learn so much from the different educators. My favorite educator is Mr. Well, actually, I got two of them, Crypto Picasso, and then you have who is the creator of Swipecoin. Now, I have personal testimonies with Swipecoin. I'm going to tell you this. I have never lost a trade. Actually, let me tell you what Swipecoin is. All right. Swipecoin is basically an add-on service and strategy that you can get access to, right? What they will do is they will send you notifications directly to your phone. Once again, giving you coordinates. Let me just give you an example really fast. They give you coordinates. So first of all, this is what the app looks like. Let me get that in there. All right, that's what the app looks like. And then,
you know what? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Let's have them download the app if that's okay. Is that okay?
The Swipecoin app?
No, I'm sorry. MetaTrader 4.
Yeah, they could download the MetaTrader 4 app. I was just gonna show them this.
My bad.
You're crazy.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the Swipecoin, basically what it does is it sends you notifications directly to your phone. It sends you a notification. So like this, I don't know if y'all can read that. Okay, boom. So it told me Bitcoin, right? They said Bitcoin is what I'm trading. We're looking at the 15-minute chart. They tell you how to enter the trade, where to enter the trade at, my 2 entry prices, stop loss, and then what my take profit is. So once again, if you can copy and paste, you can make money in these markets. And with this particular product, I have never lost. I've never lost. Every trade that I have taken, I have profited. Every single one. And that's just my personal testimony. But we also got the DeLorean, which is software, teaches you how to trade in 4 steps. That's Mr. Tyrone Foster. He teaches the market maker method, where you actually trade like the banks trade. You trade like the market makers trade. And you'll find out what the market makers is as you go through the education. But ladies and gentlemen, you literally have access to so many resources to help you become profitable. All you have to do is be teachable and coachable and copy exactly what it is that you're learning, and you'll have the results of the people that's teaching.
You're amazing. Do I need to add your screen back? No.
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, cool. 1 second. All right. Does anybody have any questions while we have Master Crypto King, Columbus Crypto King, Mr. Terry Moore on the line? Anybody got any questions? Real quick. And if y'all put them in the Facebook chat, we can see them here and I can add them on there. First of all, I just want to thank you. I know you and your wife have got your hands super full. Y'all got about 1 billion kids running around over there, and at least 100. So Y'all over there
Yeah.
flying like Bitcoin. But we love y'all genuinely, and thank y'all, for taking a leap of faith and seeing something in us to say, I can work with them. So I'm super excited for you and your results and the future results that we haven't seen yet. Don't go too far because I'm gonna welcome you back on. I'm gonna have Mr. Hawkins hop on the line if that's okay.
Yes, let's go. I'm
All
ready.
right.
I've been waiting on Hawk all day.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much. All right, so we are going to transition here. I have a gentleman. I've already said his name. I didn't mean to. But Mr. Larry Hawkins, he is definitely king of Forex around here. This gentleman, we like to call him Morpheus, right? We also call him the professor. We also call him Teach. We're kind of telling on our age, some of those names. But the point is, this gentleman knows exactly what he's talking about. He's absolutely a credible source when it comes to anything to do with the foreign exchange and actually taking the time to analyze what we like to call the charts lovingly. So I'm going to welcome to the line Mr. Larry B. Hawkins. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Awesome. Oh, wait, hold on.
I was going to say we can't see you though.
There we go.
All right. Amazing. Thank you so much for being on the live tonight. I know that you have a whole family as well yourself. You're running 2 successful businesses as we speak. And I'm super excited to be partnered with you in this venture when we talk about investing in foreign exchange. I just want to start with your testimony, if you don't mind, and I'm going to let you do your thing. I know you got a couple things you want to teach the people on the line tonight. I want to start with your testimony because I think it's so amazing, the things that you've been able to do. So if you could just maybe a minute and a half, tell us a little bit about what you were doing, why you decided to learn how to invest in foreign exchange, and what it's done for your life since then. And if you don't want to share dollar amounts, that's fine, but just let us know some of the changes you've been able to see.
All right, cool. Well, what really got me interested in wanting to learn Forex was the fact of the ability of, like, it's easy to make money. Like, you can get a job and you can make money, or you can, you can cut some grass, or you can go outside and collect cans or whatever, and you can make money. But the problem that I was running into, and that I think most people run into, is how to make that money multiply. Like, and as a young Black man, I'm older now, but as a young Black youth, and especially what's prevalent in our neighborhoods is selling drugs, right? And the purpose behind that is the fast flip, right? You're able to take your money, double it, go back, get some product, double it, so on and so forth, right? So, like, I needed to be able to do that, but I needed to be able to do that legally, right? So to do that legally, it was like, man, what can I do? And then you always hear about stock market, investing in the stock market, but you really don't get a good education surrounding that. You don't know how you can pull your money out. You don't know those different things. So, when I heard about Forex, I had a lawn care business. I was actually, at that time, I was working at a supply house, and I was doing lawn care on the side of the supply house. And then I transitioned from the supply house into going into doing HVAC work. I was working at an HVAC supply house. So then I went to doing HVAC work. And what I found out, and when I worked at the supply house, was that the people that made the money was on the other side of the counter. So then I went and started doing service work, and I started installing. And then I was like, all right, well, this is backbreaking work. I need something that's a little bit easier than this. And I was like, like, I'm making good money, but the thing about it is I have to go to work to make this good money. What happens when I don't want to go to work? What happens when my back hurt? What happens when I'm tired of crawling in crawl spaces? What happens when I don't want to cut your yard no more? No disrespect. I love my customers. But what happens is that I need to hire employees, right? But it's hard to do that when you have to survive off of the income that you're making. So what Forex has allowed me to do is now take the money that I make from the businesses that I have and invest in Forex. I make the money that I need to make in Forex, which allows me to now invest money back into my businesses. So here shortly, my goal is to be hiring employees, and you know what I'm saying, because I'm able to transition from now being that self-employed guy to the business owner and investor. So that's you know, that's pretty much how I got my start in Forex. Now, let me see if I can do a screen share. I believe we got a video queued up. Terry, you got the video queued up for the buy and sell?
One second. We're working on it.
I mean, you know, no pressure. Just let me know when you get it ready. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick.
Okay, and then before you do that, if y'all are on the line, we ask y'all to get on your laptop or your tablet because you would need to be able to use your phone. So this is an interactive class. We want you to go to your Play Store, or what's the other one called on Android? Huh?
Android store.
Go to where you download apps, no matter what type of phone you have, and download MetaTrader 4. Actually, let me bring it up. Okay, he said he got it on deck. All right, one second. I want to show y'all what the brand looks like. All right, so you want to go and to your apps and download MetaTrader 4. Just put some ones in the chat once you have it downloaded. No matter how long it takes, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment while you are downloading this. And I know it's tempting to say, okay, I'm going to do that later, but please trust me, you're going to wish you had this downloaded. So go ahead and download it now so you can keep getting the information while we get everything else going for you.
Welcome back to the IML Academy. In this video, we're going to be discussing the difference between a buy and a sell in the Forex market. Now, as a trader, it's very important that you understand the difference between the two because you can make money both buying and selling currency pairs in the financial exchange market. So to better understand the psychology of this, let's begin to think like a retailer. A retailer likes to purchase goods when they're low and sell goods when they're high. The reason being is because as the goods exchange in value, they stand to make a profit. Now we can apply the same exact concept to the Forex market where we're buying and selling currency pairs and making money as the value is exchanging. Let's take a look at the live charts here. We went ahead and highlighted different points in the market where the market was high and low. These are the best places for a trader to want to buy and sell inside of the market. The whole goal of making money is to learn when to buy, and you make money as the exchange rate is changing. As an example, when the market is extremely low, we look to put in buy orders, and as the market is coming up, we get to make money. And the same is as true as when the market is high in several examples here. When the market comes to a high point, we look to sell, and as the market comes down, we're able to make. Now, a little bit of vocabulary just for you guys. As the market is beginning to come up, you will hear a trader say the market is going long. Long simply means the market is going to start going in an uptrending motion. That means that the trader is going to get ready to buy the currency pair. Now, when a trader says we're going to short the currency pair, that means that the trader is going to sell a certain currency pair and expect the market to come down. Now, the only exception to the foreign exchange market is that you want to be sure that you're on the right side of buying versus selling. I'm going to show you an example here. Let's say you're looking to put in a long position or a buy position right here, and you're expecting the market to come up. If you are correct, then what will happen is that you would begin to make money. However, if you put in a buy order and the market begins to come down, this is where you lose money inside of the market. So as a trader, it's very important that you continue to develop.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm back. It's me, Hawk, in the building. So ultimately, what that video was describing the buy versus the sell, right? And in Forex, the thing that, you know what I'm saying, one of the things that I love most is the fact that you make money on the buy and you make money on the sell. So like in the common stock market setup, right? You buy at a market when it's low, and then you just wait for it to rise, and as it rises, it falls, and then you take the losses with the fall, and then, you know, when it rises, you get the money back, and then it goes up, so on and so forth. But in the foreign exchange markets, you get in at a certain point to buy, and you get in at a certain point to sell inside of this market, right? And you can literally keep track, so you don't have to take the losses that people would take in the average stock market. On top of that, you actually know where your money is inside of the market, right? Like, that's another thing about 401k is 401k comes from our job, right? They take it out of our jobs or out of our checks from our job, and then we don't even know where it's being put at. Like, a lot of us have no idea of where to look or where to go to even find that money, right? So those are some of the things that I personally like about Forex. Let me share my screen real quick, and I'm gonna kind of show you on live charts what these trends actually look like. Right? Boom. So, oh man, I really think I lost my spot, right? Because I do this all day, every day. I mess around on my charts often, right? So let me take. Here we go. So as you see, this is me marking my charts up all the way back to 2018. Okay, and that's as serious as you got to take this, right? But this is what I wanted to show you guys, like just here at the beginning of the year of this year, we had this massive downtrend, right? And these are the type of markets that you want to buy in, right? You want it, or that you want to sell in. I wanted to say that you should enter in, right? These are the type of markets that you want to enter in. Why? Because it's obviously going down. So now the thing is, for most people is, okay, well, I see it's going down. Well, where do I get in at? Well, you would want to get in where it's high, right? So if you were familiar enough with the markets and you seen that the market was going down here, this is a common reversal pattern, right? One of the things that you have to do in Forex is you have to learn the patterns. So this is a common. So if you knew this was going down, now every time it peaks up, you would buy, right? If you look at this, every time it peaks up, you sell in the market, right? And here, and what you want to do, the point is to accrue a minimum of 30 to 50 pips a day. Or let me take that back. For me, my minimum is 30 to 50 pips a day. Okay. Now, it can be 5 pips. It can be 10 pips. It can be 20 pips. It could be 100 pips for you. But every pair that I enter into, you know, my goal is to make at least 30 to 50 pips out of that pair. So if I was entering in just by looking at the peaks of all these pairs, what I had got my 50 pips. Well, here, this pair actually went 500, 604 pips. I could have got a lot of 50s out of 604 pips, right? This pair actually went another 440 pips. I could have got a lot of 50 pip days out of those ranges, right? And then here you have another reversal pattern, right? And then now you see the market going up, right? So now what do? You buy low, you sell high. You buy low, you sell high, right? 30 to 50 pips. If you go from the low to the high, I could have got a lot of 50s out of that. A lot of even more 30s out of that, you know, a lot of 50s out of that. So the whole point of watching the foreign exchange market, or the whole thing of watching the foreign exchange market, is getting an understanding of where you should buy in the market and where you should sell in the market, right? And once you master the patterns, and once you master the places where you should buy or sell in the market, you increase your skill set over time. So right now, the person might come in and their goal might only to gain 10 pips a day, right? Okay, well, get your 10 pips a day. And then, you know, once you get consistently profitable or consistent at getting 10 pips a day, then you can go to 20 pips, right? And then you can get 20 pips a day. And once you get consistent at getting 20 pips, you can go to 30 pips. And now one thing that I love about the TradingView trading platform is this feature that allows you to backtest, right? And you know, this is the paid version that allows you to do this. It's like $15 a month. That's not I don't get paid for none of that. So okay, just FYI. But it's this feature here that allows you to backtest. So like I said, I was all the way back in 2018, right? But if I wanted to come back to March 20th or March 19th of 2020, it now erases my screen back to that point. So now I get to go back and I get to watch how the market moved within those times, right? Now, I feel like that's beneficial, because if you're really trying to become a profitable trader in this market, then, you know, back testing is important. You know, you want to be able to make sure that the strategy that you're using actually works. So you want to be able to go back and you want to see what kind of structure the market gave you, and how you were able to, you know, accrue the pips that you want to accrue. So I hope that everybody got a lot of information out of that. Miss Willis, the lovely Miss Willis, are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. So no, that was super dope. There are some things I want to clarify for people that are new on the line. Can you just give us an idea of not necessarily what a pip is, but what do we need to know about a pip if we're just learning? What's the very basic thing we need to know about that?
So I say get good at catching pips, but what you want to do is you want to figure out your dollar amount, right? You want to figure out how much money that you feel like you want to make. So if you say, all right, you know, I'm just trying this out and my goal is to make $100, right? Mm-hmm. So a 0.01 pip size is a mini lot. So it takes 100 pips at a 0.01 lot size is $10, right? So you have to get 100 pips 10 times to get your $100, right? So that's the point. So that's how you catch. So that's the point in catching pips. Once you get consistently profitable at getting $100 with a 0.01 lot size, with, you know, collecting 10 pips at a time, what happens when you now collect that same 10 pips, but you raise your lot size to 0.02 or 0.03 or 0.04? Now you're still getting the same 10 pips, but you know what I'm saying, your money, your dollar amount now raises. Mm-hmm. So that's the gist around pips. That's why you want to get good at catching a certain amount of pips.
Yeah. And then for somebody who is just starting out, so a lot of information. Obviously, we're just still scratching the surface, but give us an idea, because it wasn't too long ago that you didn't know about Forex. So give us an idea of what someone is saying, like, oh, this might be intimidating, like what you just went over feels intimidating. Can you give them an idea of like how you've grown over time versus where you started, and how the Academy played a role in that?
Definitely. What the thing that I love about Columbus Trade Lounge and the thing that I love about I Am Academy is that it's like a family setting. So I never feel alone. Not that I feel alone anyways, because I actually like being by myself. It's the introvert in me. But you know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, like even me as an introvert, I still love my family. You know what I'm saying? I still love being able to rub elbows with people who I feel like can put me in a certain position or make me feel good about life or feel good about myself or even my situation. You know, I thank God every day, because one of the things I'm like, you know, God, thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in me. You know what I'm saying? I was able to wake up the next day and try again because God believed enough in me to put breath into me to wake up the next day. So you know what I'm saying? Like, with that said, if Forex is just like anything else that is new, okay? When I wanted to become an HVAC installer, I knew nothing about installing HVAC systems. In fact, the first system that I went out and did by myself, I like messed up horribly, but I knew somebody who was able to come out there and lend me a hand and help me get that system in order. If I would have gave up then I wouldn't have made the money that I've been able to make in the HVAC industry. I wouldn't have the connections that I have in the HVAC industry. I wouldn't have access to the people that I have in the HVAC industry. Same thing with lawn care. Like, you know, I didn't wake up one day and learn and know how to cut grass. I take my son with me to do lawn care, and, you know, he pushes the lawnmower, but he doesn't understand the value of keeping a straight line. You know, like people don't want lines. Like, son, you can't miss the spot. You have to go straight. So, you know what I'm saying? Forex, in my opinion, is just like learning anything else. It's all about what you want to put into it. You know, in my head, one of my mentors, he turned $164 to $64,000 in 3 days in Forex. And the way that my mind works is if that he can do it, I can do it. Okay. And I only other place that I know that you have growth potential like that, and even then it's such a challenge, is if you was to sell drugs. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about, hey, Mr. Local Drug Dealer, stop selling drugs and invest that money in Forex. And you know what I'm saying? Learn to flip your money legally instead of risking your life. Add value to your family instead of risking the life of yourself and your family. And you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So, yes, ma'am.
Man, I think even when you talk about risk to reward, because sometimes, you know, people look at even the academy or the education, but it's like as like, oh, well, I don't want to risk the money it takes to learn. But at the same end, like, it's something that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. So versus where you were saying, like, you know, with HVAC, you're like, okay, this has an expiration date, because there's going to be a time that I don't feel like climbing under a house, or a time where I don't feel like, you know, digging up somebody's garden just to put a different type of garden in, right? Or cutting somebody's grass. But this is something where you're making money literally by pressing buttons on a phone, which we're holding in our hands almost 70% of the day anyway, right? So to me, I really value your opinion and what you're saying, because I know you come from really just being an upright guy, taking care of his family and executing these amazing businesses that you've been able to really succeed at, but then finding the ease of this. So it's always confusing for me when people are like, oh, but it looks so hard. It's like, you're pressing buttons on the phone. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you did have to learn some stuff, but what else do you know? What else have you ever been invited to play in $1 trillion a day? Like, when have you ever had anybody offer you that? Like, for real, like just starting there. Right. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. Did you tell us your biggest day or no?
No, I didn't.
Put you on the spot.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? My biggest day was $2,500. I made that in about 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Off of $100 account. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mad.
So off $100 account, your biggest day was over 2,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so bags were secured. So y'all can drop some bags in the chat, some money bags in the chat for that. Larry, Mr. Hawkins, we are super excited to have you as part of the Columbus Trade Lounge, and thank you for coming, dropping some knowledge on us today. You're welcome back at any time. I'm just gonna put you in the back office. If you want to raise your hand, let me know there's something else you want to say. Let me know, and you will have the floor. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm about to say, if it's a delay again, I'm not doing that again. Tuning in, and so many of y'all on here. I'm super excited. I know we'll have a few people hopping on the replay. Still, we'll be checking in to see what you guys post here. So if you have any questions, let us know. Again, that was the Mr. Larry Hawkins. We're super excited to have him down. 1 second here. The Larry Hawkins, you can actually follow him online. Everything is tied under his name, to my understanding, but he can correct me if I'm wrong. All right, 1 second. All right, so those of you that have MetaTrader 4 downloaded, guess what? Bonus, we're going to help you set up a free $3,000 demo account right now. So first of all, pat yourself on the back for making it through your first hour of training. Thank y'all so much for being tuned in here with us. We know that if you made it this far, it's because you're super serious, because you have a vision for how your life could be, not as it is currently. And the information that we're going to go over today is going to help get you over that chasm to the other side of how you picture your life, that you would like to have. So pull out your phones. You're going to pull up the MetaTrader 4 app. I'm going to ask y'all to be interactive in the chat here so that I know how far along we are, but I am going to move along. So if you guys need me to slow down, you can say that as well. If you're ready to move on, say that as well. So you're going to pull up the MetaTrader 4 app. Let me get y'all out my business real quick. You're going to go to settings. Excuse me. All right, we were setting up a demo earlier today. All right, boom. It's going to look like this when you pull up your settings. You're going to click where it says new account right here at the top. New account. Then you're going to select open a demo account. Open a demo account. You're going to select that there. Then up here, we're in the search bar. If my mother-in-law is texting me. In the search bar, you're going to put in Hugo's Way. Is HUGOSWAY, and then demo 3 should pop up. You're going to select that one. Okay. Then from there, it's going to ask for your deets, your information, right? Your name, email, something else. Name, phone, email. Under that, it has an account type. Leave that the same. Then you're going to make your leverage to say 1:500. And then your deposit, you're going to make that say 3,000. 3,000. Anybody have any questions so far? If I don't see any pop up, I'm going to keep moving forward. Again, you might be tempted to not do this with us, but I'm going to please implore you. I think I got fuzzy. I'm going to implore you to not do that, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're off by yourself trying to do this and you don't have the support. And that's one of the great things you heard Mr. Hawkins say. That's one of the great things that we do offer here at the Columbus Trade Lounge, is the support that you need to be successful. So drop some ones in the chat if you have yours downloaded. You now have your free $3,000 account, because we're going to be looking for some trades, you guys. So they're going to be in crypto. So we'll have somebody walk you through adding that. It's going to be super simple. You guys are going to love how easy this is. In the meanwhile, I do actually want to bring up a gentleman. He's going to talk to you all a little bit today. This guy is absolutely amazing. He's going to talk a little bit about the what we like to call the cash flow quadrant, and why we like to focus here on foreign exchange, and why we believe it's so important, not just for any community, but especially our community. So we're going to welcome him to the line. I'm going to ask that you all drop some flames in the chat, drop some ones in the chat. Let us know that you are super excited to hear from him, as he's a gentleman and a scholar. I'm super biased, but anybody can tell you that is true. I want to welcome to the line my husband, Mr. Tiandre Willis. Give it up for him in the chat.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? Hope everybody's having a great night. Hope everybody's having a real good day. Glad that you guys decided to spend time with us tonight. You could have been doing anything else. As my wife said, we're going to talk a little bit about the cash flow quadrant. And I'm also going to kind of give you guys a quick, fast tour of how to find the boot camp in the academy. Now, the first thing I want to do is talk to you guys about an author by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody likes to talk about that book, and a lot of people have read that book. But I found that very few people actually practice the principles taught in the book. And this is very, very, very important, and that people really get a grasp of this, right? They say that the elite run the world. And the elite make up the top 1 and 4% of our population globally, right? But let's start at the largest section of this population. Let's go ahead and start with the employee section. It's 60%, right? So 60% of the world's population work for somebody else. They have a job, or there may be some type of employee. You may be a manager, you may be a supervisor, you may be a shift lead, you may be just an hourly employee or temporary. But this makes up 60% of the world. And there's another statistic that goes along with that. About 60% of the world also lives check to check, or has less than $1,000 to their name, right? And that's for an emergency or a good time. But this is a very a noble thing to have, which is a job. It's very noble to have a job. I still have a regular 9-to-5 job. And at one point I wanted to transition over to be a business owner. The things that I was looking at was the same things Larry was looking at, like HVAC. I was looking into being a barber. I was looking into several different things. I wanted to open my own business, right? I wanted to hire other people. What ends up happening to most people in that situation, they end up becoming self-employed. When you're self-employed, you literally own your job, right? Meaning that if you don't go to work, you don't eat. You trade in exchanging hours for exchanging your presence and your dollars, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but that makes up 35% of the world's population. And my barber is self-employed. And every time I sit down to get my hair cut, he always brings up, man, I'm always in this barbershop, right? So that makes up 95% of the world's population. Now, this 95% of the world's population only make 5% of the world's money. Ain't that crazy? The other 95% is solely owned by business owners and investors. It's very important that we understand that there's nothing stopping you from transitioning from these 4 different ways to make money other than the way that you think. The philosophy for someone who works a job is I go to work, I get taxed, I get paid. Same thing for a self-employed person. They go to work, they get paid first, then they get taxed last because they are likely a business owner at 1099, right? But then business owners and investors, they put their money into a system, or they invest the money to go to work for them, and they get a return on that idea, system, or program. System stands for saving everyone time, energy, and money. Systems, right? If you own a call center, you can hire 1,000 people, pay them $15 an hour, pay yourself a nickel off the hour they work, right? So that's 40,000 hours, 40,000 nickels is $20,000 a week. While most of these people are barely making $500 a week, you're making a multiplied section. J. Paul Getty said it himself, right? He'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of his own efforts. And people that are in the 60 and 30% don't necessarily understand that way of thinking. The investor actually is the king. The investor puts their money into something. That money gives them a return on that investment, and then they put that money back to work. Whenever jobs, you might work for a company, whenever they talk about the investor, you never see the investors, but they always want to make the investors happy. Because the investors are the ones that created the system and created the jobs, and they started that with an idea and with their money. So as an investor, that's 1% of the world's population. So what we want to do is give you a quick start. We want to give you straight steroids to the investor mindset. And you've heard several people on here talk about, several of my partners talk about the Academy. Now, the Academy is the I Am Educated Academy, the I Am Master Academy. And the way it works is you get online access to the education so you can learn at your own pace. So what I've been noticing a lot of people do, they've been asking on Facebook, right? And you have to wait until you get an answer from somebody on Facebook, but then you don't even know if that answer is vetted. You don't even know if that person's made money with the advice that you're giving, right? But with this particular academy, all of the educators are 100% vetted. They have made 6, 7, 8, 9 figures and above, and they teach you directly on a recorded on-demand platform that you can watch on anything connected to the internet. But then also you've got the next level, which is the live mentorship, where you're going to get to trade with them directly, take their trades, listen to their philosophy, watch how Larry marked up the charts earlier. You're going to learn exactly how to do that from the same people that taught Larry. So you're not beholden to whether or not the person that you're working with feels like answering their phone, or if they are in a good mood to teach you, or even if they can teach you. And I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've met several people that are great traders, but they are horrible educators. And this academy resolves that for you. You don't got to sit there and hope that the person giving you the information is the right information. You can actually question, get your questions answered right away. And it's very important that we have that benefit. But I'd like to go ahead and share with you the academy itself. I'll go ahead and get to that really fast. I'm going to show you what we have for all of our new students. When people get started with us brand new and fresh, what we like to do is go ahead and get them started on a fast track. So let's go ahead and get signed into the academy. Everybody gets the same academy. There's various different options, but this academy is the best one that I've seen ever. So look, I'm sharing my screen right now. You guys are going to be able to see this in just a second. I like to make it so you might be able to see me too. Let's see if I can do that. All right, here we go. So, all right. So when you first get started, everybody gets a fast start sheet, gives you 5 steps to getting started successfully. And as you get started successfully in the program, you're going to be able to jump right into the education. Now, this is the I Am Center, right? IM.Center. Once you enroll in the academy, you're going to get immediate access to this. And this is my favorite part. This is the boot camp, right? The boot camp is for people who are very serious. They really want to take this skill serious, and they want to get started right. And I think everybody that I've ever talked to about this, and I asked them, are you serious and you want to get started right? The answer has unanimously been yes. So I'm going to show you how to go from the home screen and how to get to the boot camp. So that way you can actually get right to the education. So right now I'm enrolling in the English Academy. There's several different languages. And you're going to get started here. As you can see, it starts at 101 and we go all the way down to FRX 450, right? Each one of these classes have an assessment and they track you. As you can see, I've finished most of the classes myself. But if you really want to get on the fast track to success with this academy, I suggest you go through the boot camp. Maybe you watch the first 10 or 12 videos. I'm not saying throw them to the side. You want to make sure you watch all of the education and repeat watch, right? You want to serial digest this information. But this is the Go Live Academy. And the educator that we're looking for is Mr. Manny Quinones. Manny Quinones is the main educator in the back office. There's hundreds of them, and they educate different ways. But this boot camp gives you a solid foundation on Forex, a solid foundation on trading, a solid foundation on how to read the charts and apply what you're learning in a tangible and immediate way that you can get major results, right? If you like major results, type major results, put them in the chat right there, or just put flames, put sevens, put a money bag. If you like to win, right, this is for you. So let me go ahead and show you here. You got recorded sessions and favorite sessions. And an educator like Manny Quinones is very, very, very thorough. Extremely, extremely thorough. So all of his courses are labeled and dated. And the boot camp, I kind of been in the education for 2 years. This actually was a quantum leap in my skill set. So I immediately improved this boot camp. It immediately improved my profitability, my accuracy, and my IQ as a trader. So when you get started, I would suggest everybody start here. It says right here at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, Master Academy Series, What is Forex? Video 1. And these go from right to left. Unlike when you read left to right, these go from right to left. So video 1, then you have the I Am Master Academy Bootcamp course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 8. And this boot camp is so powerful that Mr. Quinones actually gives you a full walkthrough on all of the Master Academy strategies that are available to you, shows you exactly how to fully capitalize off of them and continuously win on a consecutive basis. And this is very important, folks, because when it comes to Forex, I see a lot of people talking about crypto, a lot of people talking about Forex and what to do. You want to get educated. The amount of money that you're going to lose trying to teach yourself or throw spaghetti on the wall to see what's going to stick, you can actually pay for education month after month after month, year after year after year after year. But if you get partnered with Columbus Trade Lounge, no matter where you are, you don't have to live in Columbus. You can be anywhere in the world. But once you get partnered with us, our goal is to get you from beginner to intermediate to expert using the Academy. And the Academy has got classes around the clock. It's going to show you exactly how to capitalize off of this market. And again, so that way you can jump right into the investor mindset. A lot of times we don't have the investor mindset. They don't teach investing in school. They don't want you to learn investing in school because the school systems are owned by the banks and the governments, and the banks and the governments don't want to train their competition. So with I Am Master Academy, you can learn enough to be dangerous right now. We've had several people partner with us and join our team, and recently have $1,000 weeks, $500 days, no income claims, right? I don't want to get anybody in trouble or compliance for income claims, because with this particular academy, the education is money. The product is money, your money. The company doesn't want any percentages off of your winnings. You get to keep all of your earnings and your winnings. The company just wants you to learn from them so that you can have the investor mindset without some of the false things Mr. Moore talked about earlier. People thought you had to have a lot of money. You don't. People think you need to be good at math. You don't. You really only need to be good at Simon Says, because once you go into the Go Live education, once you come over here to Go Live, you actually get to play Simon Says with the masters in the live sessions, live courses, right, folks? There's actually live courses happening around the clock, 24/7, 365, because crypto is 24/7 and Bitcoin is 24/5, excuse me, and Forex is 24/5. So it's constantly in your face, live education, and also mindset. The CEO, Christopher Terry, and also one of our partners, Bob Proctor, realized that this company is looking to free people mentally and financially so that we can actually change the world. Because after we get through praying, after we get through complaining, somebody's got to write a check. And that person out there could be you. You could be sent to this world by the Most High for the other people around you, right? Several of us are people that have been sent by the Most High to change lives, and you can't change other people's lives if you don't have a vehicle and a master plan to change your own life. And that's the most important thing that I love about the I Am Master Academy, is that it is a master plan to change your life. So with that being said, folks, I'd like to go ahead and thank you for coming out tonight. Make sure that whoever invited you to this, right, or if you stumbled across it online, that you get back with them and get your questions answered. You know, one of my mentors has a book, and in that book, they talk about who you should listen to. And one of the key elements of that book was that you really can't listen to yourself because most of us ourselves are broke. You want to take advice from the people that are living on the level that you want to live. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about the educators. I'm talking about people like Bob Proctor. I'm talking about people that are already in the 1% and the 4%, because it's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's who you know that will teach you what they know, so that you can spread the word and teach others. And again, thank you so much for your time tonight. All right, so those of you who have downloaded MetaTrader 4, I've been watching Bitcoin very closely for the past few minutes here, looking for an opportunity for us to take a nice demo trade. Now, can you see that? All right, yeah, that's where the market is right now with Bitcoin. And with trading Bitcoin versus holding it, when you're holding it, you're kind of praying that it doesn't fall down to the bottom there, right? But with trading it, it can fall and we can still win. So what I'd like to show you here, let me pull out my cursor, is my really quick market analysis. I'm going to put a few trend lines on here. We're going to trap this price so that we can grab some of these pips. Man, I wish I had that track, man, that pips and drip. I wish I had that right now. All right, so you see I put 3 lines on there, right? I put 3 lines on the chart. Now, let me move that. My anticipation that is going to go down to that middle line, right? So what we're going to do is first we're going to make sure we're in our demo account. We're not going to do that again, right? All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to open up your MetaTrader 4, and I want you to go to the quotes symbol. So if you're on Apple or Android, you have quotes on both of them. Yours might look a little different than mine. Don't freak out. But hit quotes, and at the top, there's going to be a plus symbol. Click the plus symbol and look for cryptos. Click on cryptos. It's going to open up a list of cryptocurrencies. If you don't see it in the list, go back to the screen that says add symbol. Go to the search and put in BTCUSD. Hit the plus and it'll be added automatically to your home screen. Once it's on your home screen, go ahead and tap on the Bitcoin. I'm going to move kind of fast here. If you want more, if you want a private session, let us know so that we can show you. But what we're going to do is click on Bitcoin and then click trade. Then we're going to hit sell by market. Boom. Sell. Just that quickly, we are in a trade. It's the one on the bottom there. It's not the big ones up there, right? Those big ones. Let's see if it'll focus. Will it focus? Well, as you can see, I've got some big ones in there. I've been really playing with that crypto. Will it focus? Will it focus? Will it focus? Will it focus? All right, so we're in that trade. We did the sell, right? So what I'm anticipating is that it's going to go back down a little bit to that bottom red line. That bottom red line is, or the middle red line is $9,828.83. So now we're going to protect our investment. We're going to go back here to our trade, hold down on it and click modify. And we're going to put our take profit. What did I say that was again? $9,828.83. $9,828.23. $9,828.23. Boom. All right. And we've actually gained a little bit while we were waiting, right? So what I'll do is tomorrow I'll post the results for this trade in the group so that way everybody can see it. But this is how you get your start. You demo trade. You are going to trade monopoly money until you're ready to trade your money. Now, for everybody who is curious about getting started with the academy is very easy to get started. If you want more information on that, we will follow up with you. Also, make sure that if you know anybody who talks about cryptocurrency or trading or investing in 2020, invite them to the Columbus Trade Lounge group and bring them into this community of successful and willing and eager to help Forex traders. And for those of you who are already on the team, we're very excited for you. We're happy to celebrate your success. And as we always say, it may not be your fault where you are in life, but it is up to you to do something about it. And we never look down on anybody unless it's to pick them up. So everybody, thank you once again for an outstanding evening, and we will see you the next time. Have a good night.
Look, this is me, still the same. They want the hands, I play the game. No auto-tune, but you can feel the pain. It all comes spilling out like I hit a vein. Rock, rock, slow feel. I hope you know that y'all the reason I have fun still. Fans thinking every all sound is one deal. Equal opportunity, preference, that shit is unreal. That ain't how it works. That ain't how it goes.